Okay.
This is better.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
Three
about to say,
things. Bro.
let me see if this works better because sometimes I'd be confused with when it says guest and then it's like, okay, guest, and then it's got all these blocks. I'm like, no, not
Yeah,
that,
I don't
not
know. That was crazy.
that.
You
It's
live on
like,
TikTok right
dang,
now?
you about to have a panel on here or something?
No, not today. Are you live on TikTok right now?
You said what?
You live right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Yes, sir. I know you was talking about it. It's good to see.
What's
Oh,
good, Ninja Monkey Bree? Even though you changed your name, I still remember.
yo,
Thanks for
Bubbles.
liking the live.
What's up, Bubbles? Yo, this is fucking
Bubbles.
hilarious. Yo, the internet is hilarious, Mo. What is this? We really on live together. That's hilarious.
Right.
So interesting.
Hey, how are you? I'm good, chilling. How are you?
Wait, can people go to my live and follow you? Yeah, they could, I think. I'm gonna try my other account.
Cause see, I can only see my comments. I don't know if you can see my comments.
Mm-mm. You talking to
Okay.
Google, also nobody.
Yeah.
I'm already shadowed. I've been on live for like 30 minutes. I got 600 likes. Like it's over for me. Is you taking over now? I'm not gonna, nobody's gonna join no more. My people,
Whatever. Nah. Nah.
you don't think so?
Nah. I mean, even then, like, they gonna have to go to your page too and be like, okay. But even then, like, my people are somewhat doormat, but it's just like, okay.
I bet I'm not gonna push nobody either. Y'all join if y'all want. Do you live your life? Oh
Right.
yeah. Should we give like intros to our audience? Would that be funny? Should we do that? Fucking hilarious.
Sure.
I got like one viewer, so I think I may as well start first. How many you got right now? Like,
Zero. So
stop it. Stop it.
hey. I see when it's no pressure, I'll be like, okay, I can be chill, I can relax, and
Find out.
you
That's really
know,
how it is. That's 100% how it is. We'll just wait until people join then, and then talk to people, I guess.
yeah. I'm just kind of thinking of what I'm. Well, originally for the past few days, I've been working on like Notion and trying to get kind of like a dashboard for life, business, and creativity. So then I can put my creative calendar and just like business stuff and daily planner and all that on there.
I had
Um,
I use Notion like around COVID, but I don't know, it never worked for me. Like I never really tested it fully to test like templates or different features that it has, just a basic writing.
mhm.
I think I already used Google Docs so much that I just became super accustomed to Google Docs. And obviously it's way different than Notion, right? But I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember the
it's almost like a website though. Like you can, because I think it's this website called Simpling. You can turn a Notion page into a website page. So turning it into a blog page or turning it into a shopping site, then you just update the inventory and stuff. But I feel like when you get more into the details of it, you can set a formula so when somebody purchases it, it deducts from the inventory and stuff like that. So I don't know. I find like putting because then I can put like short stories and stuff like that. It's like a cloud that doesn't fill up like Google Drive would because over time like it starts piling up, but eventually you can just
oh, there's no
what's
space.
that? Goofy?
There's no space on Notion.
Mm-mm.
Really?
I think for certain features though, like the AI on there, you can use it several times a day, but then after you use it several times, you have to wait until the next day to use
Yeah.
it again. So it has its pros and cons and stuff, but I was just going off of YouTube and just kind of creating like a motivation station, a creative studio, a business hub, and then my content calendar while also creating like a structure for me for like the AM ritual versus the night ritual and just a weekly focus tracker and like a mood and energy tracker. I just built the mood and energy tracker from somebody on YouTube and it's like a checkbox deal. So like you can have each day of the week and basically be like, okay, let me click this, let me click that, and then it like checks it off, and then it puts a progression bar of how far you've
That's
gone in the day.
insane. Yo, you got such an optimized system. You going to abide by that? Because I can't. I do not like anything that
See,
structured. I like
it's
I like structure and like organization, but that is insane. Not in a bad way.
it's insane, but it's just for me to when I have like an off day, it's not necessarily for me to like pigeonhole myself to it. It's just something that like, okay, you know what? I feel kind of like down and out today. Let me do some self care because I want to prioritize like self care. So it's got like things like workout, journal, read, meditate, and I meant to add drink water. So like throughout the day, I can like check those off, and those be like small accomplishments for the day.
So it's like your brain, but you don't listen to it 100% if you don't really feel like it, kind of. Something like
Yeah,
that.
I go with the flow, but I also
Pay attention to it.
use this as a little bit of a structure for myself too. So if I'm like, I just feel like the day got away from me, it's something for me to ground myself into to be like, okay, this makes it more practical for myself.
That's
Let
insane.
me go get my water. Thanks for the reminder. No problem, DJ.
Corbin. I think this person dipped. I got zero right now. I think, but it's not a bad thing. It is fine. It is fine. Hmm. You
Cabrina, what's up?
remember when a couple years ago when people were selling Notion templates? Like everybody was selling a Notion template. That was a
Hmm.
wild era. That was a wild era.
It is, but I mean, it works because then like you can get like a Notion certification, and you can make your own templates and own deal. Like the creative process that goes behind it, you can like literally create a hub for yourself. Even then, it's like almost like scripting or brain dumping all your thoughts, all your projects and stuff like that into one base, so you don't have to keep constantly looking through notebooks and being like, okay, where's this, where's that, where's this.
Yo,
So
Star. What's
it's
up,
all
Star?
on one thing.
Star. I hear you. Well, quick intro. Me and Scoe is talking about creative endeavors and like business or whatnot. So stay here if you're interested in seeing that or whatever. And I'm playing some music in the background. I did start my playlist though, so I'll probably continue right now. But
Hey,
yo, I didn't even know you could get Notion certificates. I never heard that in my life. I don't really know too much
yeah,
about Notion. I'm not in that world, to be honest.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but it just, I guess whenever I was looking into more UX UI design, or just looking for efficiency and like creative process, because I can like work on a task, forget that I'm working on a task, and then move on to something different. And then it's just like a continuous cycle of like working on something, and then it stops, and it's like, oh, I need to get back to doing that. Or being so free flow in the wind that I don't know what I want to work on. So
And that's the
it's
thing
like,
with like habits and momentum. Once you begin something, you build up momentum after a couple tries, right? 3, 10, 20 tries. And then if you
mm-hmm,
stop, then everything like feels off. The rhythm is really weird. And then now
mm-hmm,
you're stuck in this like foggy phase for like hours or days. And it's like, what was I doing before? What was I
for
working
real.
on? What was I striving towards? That really be happening though. That's why it's so good to like have it written down or typed up somewhere, right? I could vouch.
Because even with this book, because I was telling you about this that one live,
I think it's upside
and
down. Or I'm
oh, it's
just
upside,
slow. Or it's
or
backwards.
it's inverted, yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
But it's the artist way, and they talk about like doing rising pages. Like every time you wake up, you stream your consciousness. So that can either be you just scripting and journaling. And I got so used to doing it for like creating a habit of it, and I was reading Atomic Habits at the same time as doing this.
Damn,
So it's
you
like,
were really like in that.
yeah, that was, I think, probably 2 years ago whenever I was in therapy. So then it was like, okay, I kind of am tired of the same mundane things that's going on. So that was to unblock me creatively, and then Atomic Habits was to start new habits and be like, okay, how do I form a new habit when and it's like just doing the simplest thing and just being like, okay, even if it's just like, okay, I made the bed today, that's something that you can check off. And I would get so, I would overwork
Like one
myself.
moment. Wait 1 second, then continue talking. Yo, Aurora, thank you. It's Aurora. Aurora. I can't talk today, but thank you. I appreciate you. I know you follow me. Appreciate you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep preaching though. You gonna keep seeing me. I'm not gonna lie. You gonna keep seeing me, whether it's on TikTok,
Follow
Instagram.
this man, y'all. Follow
Like,
this man. He be dropping gems. I didn't sat here and been in his live and been like, what am I doing with my life? And then he's like, oh yeah, I got this game plan and everything. And then
bro,
looking at his
stop, bro.
page,
Stop.
nah, for real. Because I mean, that's what we're supposed to do as creators. We're supposed to like build each other up. So I mean,
Thank you.
if you can't build the community, then what are we doing?
I gotta get used to it, bro. I'm gonna keep preaching, and people gonna keep seeing me. So I gotta get used to the big ups and people.
You know what you should do whenever you go live or something like that? You should save your live streams and upload them to YouTube. Oh dang, dang, it just cut off. Anyway, I'm gonna let him know whenever he get back.
I'm back. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bro, I put this setup where it stops you from being on TikTok for like an hour, and I'm always on TikTok doing something productive, so it fries me. I gotta change that. I have to change that
Why
setting.
are we in the same boat? Because for the longest time, I used to have like my digital wellness set up on my phone. Before the TikTok ban happened, I deleted the app, so it like kind of got rid of it.
Mhm.
But after 30 minutes of every day, I only had 30 minutes to be on TikTok, and then it would just like close me out for the rest of the day. And then it like, nah, you gotta wait now. It
So
was
annoying.
weird.
And I don't, bro. I do not be on TikTok, and then I get on TikTok, and I'm stuck. That never happens. That never happens. I'm too. I don't want to gas myself or sound corny, but I'm a little bit too productive and like focused. I don't. I just don't get on TikTok and get stuck on TikTok, like swiping. That never happens. So I have to take off this damn setting. It's annoying. I have to take off the setting, bro.
I mean, I think it's because even then it was like more of I knew where my attention was going and I
Yeah.
wanted it to go somewhere else. So
Yeah.
then the fact that I was constantly on apps scrolling, trying to find
Resources.
inspiration for something, I'm like, okay, now I'm just stuck here and I didn't spend like 2 4 hours of my day wasted.
That's why I could use TikTok for. It's straight education, and then it tells me an hour is too much. I gotta change that setting. I'm gonna put it somewhere down. I gotta change that setting. Continue though what you were talking about. You say that I should download TikTok streams and put the whole stream on YouTube?
Yeah, put them on YouTube and then like you can create them as podcasts sometimes cuz like whenever you go into conversations you're mostly like talking about even if it's a progressive like diary or like vlog journal type deal, then you have that to upload and just be like, okay.
Bro, that's so smart. I never thought about that ever. I never thought about that.
I think about things and then I'll be like, why don't I do this for myself? But then it's like, I don't know. I don't think people are gonna be interested in that, to be honest. And I just kind of like, already be like, you know what? Nah, I don't think people need to see that.
The hell? Wait, you said two things. You said put TikTok lives on podcasts.
Oh, on YouTube, and then like you can set it in YouTube as a podcast because I think it's like a full length or something like that. It has some type of feature whenever you go into YouTube that you can set things as a podcast.
Bro, that's so smart. And then you can just use AI software like Opus Clip and just get like 20 clips and just spam it. I never thought about that in my life. Because I don't like podcasts. So I'm not gonna lie, podcast is the glitch since like COVID. We all know that. But
Well,
I didn't.
podcast is basically what we're doing now. It's just sitting here talking and then
uh,
just being like, okay, like you create another avenue out of something you just threw away and been like, okay, well, yeah, that was just a live stream.
I never thought about that. That's so smart. Oh, that's so
Plus, I
smart.
seen you doing that one interview in the park, and I was like, I've been trying to get into the setting of like that.
Stop. I'm
No,
watching.
because it's
Oh
real
my.
shit. It's real shit. Because like I was honestly like, I had a podcast back then called Ready Let's Grow Podcast or Ready Let's Go Podcast, and then it was like I wanted it to be mobile, but my introverted self wouldn't allow me to be like, oh, let me go out and actually interview people. I'm like,
Mm,
no, no, I don't like this. Or if it would have to be somebody that I actually know in order to interview with and be like, okay, I have like this commonality with them that I can sit there and be comfortable and them be comfortable as well in a space that's like outside and grounded with nature and everything because that's the whole objective of it was to be outside, be grounded, spiritual wellness, and all that. So
So you would have
most
wanted
of the
that, you're
people,
saying. The whole vibe, but you were a little bit too introverted, you feel like.
yeah. But even then, it was like sometimes it would be outside, sometimes it would be inside, and it'd just be me and like the studio, like sitting down at my coffee table and just like drinking matcha, and then just
Talking to somebody or talking to yourself. I like
talking to
out loud.
myself, talking to somebody else if I wanted to interview somebody. But it'd
Hmm.
be like, hey, it'd just be chill vibes, and I'm like, okay. I just like having deep conversations with people, seeing other people's
Substance.
perspective, and
Almost of substance, like actual substance.
right. And I feel like whenever we were talking in live, it was like so much like deep conversation. It was just like, oh, this is this. And I was like, you know what? Sorry if I'm like typing out a whole think pad in your comments or in the live stream. My bad.
No, it wasn't a bad thing. I'm not against it at all. I already told you this. Yo, freaking you know when that clip when I was in the park,
Hmm.
bro? I was walking. That was I think I already told you I was for New York meets Melbourne. I told somebody else. Did I tell
Hmm.
you?
I
I
don't
told
think so.
So New York meets Melbourne. I basically like host different events in my city, like creative events, like
Hmm.
I don't know, painting sit downs or photography walks. And for that, I marketed that, but just like the first walk, I marketed it poorly, so nobody really showed up. For the first walk, some model from China popped out because he was open networking because he's new to the city. So that was cool, but he left after like 30 minutes. And then I went that day, but I didn't see nobody, and it was packed, and it was 70 degrees. So when it's hot over here, everybody's outside. So I was just walking around, and then I saw this new company, and they were saying there's a podcast platform, like a new social media podcast type platform where we do like podcasts of regular strangers, and we just host it to the app. So I'm like, okay, it's an NPC activity. Let me just do it, and we just talked for like 10 minutes, and it was calm. I'm still waiting for them to email me, but I got the app, and maybe I'll email them in a couple days, seeing where's the footage or where's the audio, and talk about it in a video. I got a lot of footage, but I haven't dropped. I wanted to do two pieces of content. You know when people be like, "Oh, go with me to this place, come with me on a
Hmm.
day as an artist," or blah blah blah. I want to do that, but I'm sitting on footage, which is really rare for me. That shows that I'm still feeling resistance, but that resistance is a positive thing because it shows that something good will happen on the other side. So I'm aware of
Right.
that. That's probably one of the things right now that I do feel a little bit of resistance. I won't lie. That's not talking again. You see me just talking seamlessly and all my fucking thoughts flow. Like that's really how it is.
Hmm.
That's really how it is.
That's how it typically be. But then it's like when you're alone and you're like, okay, what am I doing? And then it'd be like, oh, you're doing this and this, and then it's like so many branches that
Mhm.
stem from that idea. You're like, okay, I need to find the root of it so then I can work from there. But
One at a
that's
time.
me always trying to work sequentially, but knowing that sometimes just starting is what gets me. It's like if I'm not starting in the right order, I feel like I'm not doing it right. So then I'm like, no,
Mhm.
just start and then just revise as you go along.
Yeah, that's a fact. Just start and iterate, and then change up
Mhm.
colors or content or approach or mentality, and just see what happens. That's
I'm
literally what
still
happened.
trying to think about what you were telling me about
Yo, Keenan, what's up?
art school, I think, or just like
Yeah.
my experience as an artist and just like that piece of advice. Like
Yo,
when
this
it's
is gonna be
just
a
me
real.
by myself and just talking about it, it's like, I don't know. Like I'm not prompted to talk about it because I don't know where to start. But
This is a real podcast, yo. You know that, right? Like this
it
is.
really, it
Mhm.
really is.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he just gave me a play. I gotta do it. Lord of mercy. That's crazy as hell. Oh man.
It be like
Wait.
that. I mean,
Yeah. It's like all these it's like things pop up in your life, and now you like I gotta pay attention to it. Like I gotta follow this sign. I gotta act. Like, that's what I feel with every single thing right now.
I
I
feel like the biggest regret that I've had is when I have an
Mhm.
idea and I don't move on it, and then like few years down the line, I see somebody doing it. I'm like,
Because
if
their
you would
idea
have
was
just been consistent,
it
Scoe,
was like
you would
there's like a
have.
spiritual thing. Your idea goes to somebody else because you didn't act on it. You don't even deserve the idea. Like what's the point of thinking I gotta do this and that and then you never do it? You're wasting time.
Right. Like that dude who's like, I'm a matcha nigga now. Drink matcha. Like, I was
What is
making
that?
matcha from my home and was like doing my process of like my version of making matcha. Of course, people have done it before, but not saying I invented the wheel, but I'd be like, you know what? I could have just been getting different brands of matcha and just been like, okay, we're gonna try this brand of matcha today. We're gonna do this, but
It's so simple. And it'd be the simple ideas that pop off. Like people don't even be doing nothing. You can make money from or just make cloud or bring attention to yourself from doing anything, right? It's so weird.
right. But it's just that little, I guess, that identity of being perceived or being seen. It's just like, okay, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. I just want to do my thing and just be okay. But then there be times where I'm like creatively motivated to that. Okay, I want to record, and then see how people do all their cinematography, and I'm like, I don't know where to start when it comes to that. Like most people say, "Oh, I just throw my camera up," and I'm like,
Just do whatever. Is it like it intimidates you because of their quality, or is it like you're scared to bring attention to yourself, or both?
mm, I would say the quality and not so much my perception of me. It's just that it won't be as interesting as maybe it is the comparison of what somebody else did and then being like, oh, well, I'm not interesting like that. I just literally am. Because there's those people who have like high energy and can turn it on during the camera. I'm just a chill type person all the way through. So unless I'm talking about something that can get me hyped, but then after a while I'm like, okay, I'm still chilling, I'm vibing, but most people gravitate towards that high energy, and I'm like,
You know what I was
okay,
gonna do? So, late last year, I made an ebook and I sold one copy. But after selling that one copy, I realized, you need an audience. Like, it's really, really easy to sell things if you have a dedicated audience that trusts you. So then I had a list of like probably 30 ebook ideas in my phone that I'm gonna do eventually. But I'm like, one of the ideas that I had, which I just got in my head because you were talking about it, and this is written down a couple of pages in here, is like making an ebook which explains why somebody would buy from you over buying from somebody else. Because so many times right now on social media, everybody does the exact same thing. They go into supermarkets, they be like, this is unhealthy. They all talk about the same piece of history. They talk about photography or cinematography or screenwriting, but everybody has something special, I feel like, to them.
mm,
Like everybody has emotional intelligence, maybe, or somebody has a higher focus or an ability to learn and pick up on things immediately, or you know what I mean?
mm,
So even you saying that, you could still find your pathway, but you're gonna have to just change your perspective, I feel like. That's what I gotta put in my ebook once I create that and once my audience continues to grow. Like there's still pathways, even if somebody, if it seems like something is saturated, you still get really creative with it and still find out what is your North Star, what is your value proposition as a creator, as a creative, feel me? So I gotta
yeah.
think on that. And like
Because
you think
do you
about
ever run into the issue of sounding redundant? Like I know most people are either like it becomes heavily saturated, but then it's like also people doing the same thing in just different formats.
that's
Sometimes I
why
get like, oh, nobody's gonna want to see me because there's about four or five other people doing the same thing like me.
that's
And I
why I
think it's me
lean
trying to reinvent the wheel versus I
hmm.
don't know, just being more or being innovative and being like, oh yeah, I created this for my own deal. But I guess that comes with like knowing your process of how you do things too.
I think that's why I lean on everything that's unique to me. So I do photography, right? But even if you
Mm.
look at my shots and you look at my camera, it's not normal. You see this person? That's your man's.
You said what?
You see this person? That's your man's.
What person?
I got like a request to join. I'm not sure who this is.
Uh,
I don't
I'm
think they're
not
in here.
sure. It doesn't show any request to join on my end.
I don't be understanding TikTok anyway. But I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about though. So I'm a
Mm.
photographer, right? And I could talk about photography tips, photography mindset, but there's gonna be certain things that stand out to me personally. So one is just who I am. I'm not a photographer. I'm an artist, so I do everything. That's obvious. That's easy. Two is how I communicate. I'm not a photographer who grew up in the suburbs or like went to all these colleges. Like I'm literally basically from the hood, but I'm not
Mm,
like, feel me? I'm like a regular person. We're all like regular people. So I kind of lean on that. And I use a lot of lingo when I talk. So it's just
mm.
easy marketing that pick up on subliminally. You know what I'm talking about. And then
I
three,
got
my
you.
photography is more unique than the average shots. Oops. 1 second.
Ooh. See,
Everything
that's dope.
skipping everything. But you see what I'm talking about though, right?
hmm
It's
It's the
not
thing. Like I can see like your not formula, but I can see your essence within the photos of it like transitioning. But it's also like you said, your perspective, your point of view, and your communication style. I think that I'm so overwhelmed with so many media formats that it's like, okay, what do I want to say? What am I articulating to my audience? What do I want them to, what part of this embodies me, but also can communicate that to tell a story? Because when it comes to storytelling, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just present within that moment. That's more of like when I do like little photos on my phone or something like that. It's like, okay, this is me just being present in this moment with where I am in life. So maybe that's just like time standing still or just me being in a peace of mind. But
So do you think you think too much, maybe? Or maybe you don't even
I
know.
know I think a lot. I think way too much. And I'm like, why? What's the point?
Oh, you got a gifted or something? What's that sound effect?
Oh, yeah, I think, hey, thanks, Val, for the roses.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up,
Take
Kenya?
W roses. So maybe
Hey.
you gotta simplify your thinking. Maybe you've been doing it. It seems like you kind of been doing it with your Notion board. Even that was the first thing you said in the conversation. Like you're still finding a like it's just a simpler path that just you
Mm.
could abide by. So I think that's a good step. Like I feel like you know what you're doing wrong and what you're doing good. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just when it becomes overwhelming, it becomes like a freeze instead of like you said in your post earlier today, just fail at things. Like you're not failing enough in order to like push
Yeah.
past it. And it's like I fail and it feels like an inconvenience and then it's like, okay, now we gotta stop production because we don't know what's going on.
How
Keep the
often does it
creative
you
flow
feel like it gets
going.
like oh somebody's talking?
Yourself. Oh, Val commented or Rose Golden Pearl on here commented, keep your creative flow, keep your ideas to yourself, and watch everything just come out.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, I gotta complete the rest of this. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Gift him roses too. Like go follow him because he's a creative too. And I think even though and maybe this is I'm gonna say this too and put this on my YouTube, but because the person who's gifting roses, we actually went to
Yo,
school
she
together,
came. She came. Yes, yes.
and
Thank you, Rose. I didn't think she would come. That's insane. Thank you so much.
and
So much love for you.
we went to art school together, and she was in photography. So,
Thank you.
and
That's so appreciative. Thank you, Rose. Appreciate you.
but like, I feel like with art school, I felt like at a point I regretted art school, but I don't regret the connections that I made with people there,
That's how it be.
and like it for the time being like all the struggle and the strife that went into school was like why am I even doing this, what's the point, but to like meet people like Val or meet other people that have like been in my life, it's been like okay, I understand what it was all for was like connection, whether it was in that moment or it's further down the line. But
Hmm. How much do you think you gained more from art school than it took away from you? That's a damn good question. Yo,
sometimes I think it took a little bit more because I was so not self aware, but I was uh easily influenced when it came to art school because like before going to art school I was confident in drawing. I could look at a picture and be like, okay, I just do this, I just do that. But Rose commented that art school was more of a scam though than anything. It was because after I graduated, like the school closed down, and I was already like my psyche was telling me, and I was trying to tell my parents like beforehand. I was like, I think I want to trade like change schools or something like that, and it was like, no, that was your dream school. You gotta stay there. Da da da. Da. And I'm like, but I feel like the school is closing down. There's been rumors for like 3 years talking about, oh, the school's closing down, the school's closing down. But it was more of like some teachers were good, but some teachers had favorites, and it was like their living situation. I'm glad I had my own apartment, but Rose can attest to this that the roommates that you would get would be shit, and it's like what are we really doing here? Nah, they shut down. They being sued, right? For real. But it was like even having limited resources or just like having a teacher like guide you instead of being like, oh, you need to change your style in order to be like Disney, or you need to change your style to be like DreamWorks, instead of just being like, oh, you need to trust your art skill or your style that you currently have and just build on it. So going into art school, I wish I would have had more confidence in my art style versus being like, okay, you're wanting to go to Disney, and so you need to like study more Disney style, or well, it helps you to diversify your style and be able to be hireable for other people. But sometimes it's like they, I, I will never forget somebody who told me that, oh, like your art style, it looks like it was drawn by a black person. I was like, well, duh, I'm a black person, so.
the hell?
But you like you think that, and then you like internalize that, and you're like, oh, I don't think like my art style will be palatable for other people,
Hmm.
and it makes you less hireable whenever you're like building your portfolio if you're only doing a certain demographic. But
Yo,
now
Blue,
I'm seeing people thrive on the internet for just specifically doing black people things. I was like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have never let so and so put that idea in my head that, oh, just because you only draw black people, that's all that you're able to do. I'm like, oh, damn.
you feel like art school made you conform a little bit. Like
Hmm.
you were not able to like live or maybe evolve to who you're meant to truly be throughout that time because it kind of forced you to be somebody else for a little bit. Somewhat.
Hmm.
Blue Jay, you hear that? That is crazy. Just to think about that for art school. I don't know what kind of school that was. Sounds ghetto. I ain't gonna hold you.
It was definitely ghetto. It was definitely ghetto. Like whenever, because Rose, she commented, my roommate stole $1,000 markers from her. Yeah,
Ooh.
and like the way the art school would be, they give you like a art bag with all your essential art tools, but it only could last you like a quarter of the semester,
Hmm.
and you would have to go out to like Michaels or something like that and hire more materials for a future class that you're going to need within your prerequisites for your major. So it'd be like
What was the
you
point
should
of
make
that?
your own animation and post on YouTube, make the animation diaries.
Bill Beans, what's up?
That's
Yeah, take it
that,
down. The idea? Somebody spit a
yeah.
bar?
Hmm.
This is real. Like we already had like 3 or 4 good ideas as a whole like little podcast that we doing for the first episode. This wasn't even meant to be a podcast. Like
Right.
in bars, you give me ideas, somebody in your comments gave you an idea. Somebody
See, that's how creativity flows though.
so
That's
easily.
where it's like less resistant is when the ideas come, but just acting on it and not I feel like I get caught up on the result of it and then putting in the time and stuff like that. So I just have to do it for me and just have fun doing it in the
Hmm.
process of that. And that's where I'm really. She also said they stole my clothes, dishes, and my purses. The school steals from you too.
Whoa, dishes is insane. Dishes
Yeah.
is insane. That is crazy.
She
I don't
also
lie.
said I never got my supplies as a photographer. I spent more than 15,000 myself on photography supplies.
Somebody took it from her? She don't got
Well, no, she had to buy her own like photography equipment in order to get her like class assignments done because like the way the school was, they had like a cage so you could like check out stylus, Wacom drawing tablets, cameras, video cameras. Uh, I think that was pretty much it for like if you were doing digital arts. But say you have to do like a photography project like you did, but you have to have like good lighting and stuff like that,
yeah.
and you
You gotta
just
buy
can't
you gotta
use
buy a whole setup, you gotta buy the lights,
yeah,
that.
or you have to like book out the studio a day prior when it's not busy. So it was like a whole bunch of extra like, oh, is the school open today? Who's in the studio? Who's not doing it? And you just had to find a time slot within that time to
That's not
do it.
efficient. That's not efficient at all.
Exactly. Like the school, like originally when I first got there, it was about what was it? Was it five stories? And then about time, like I got midway through to graduation or like being a sophomore or junior, the school dropped down to like three levels. And we had like five departments fitting into like one building except for cooking because well even them they would come over to the main building but they had their own little section of like for chefs to like a whole kitchen but like none of us digital art people would ever step foot in there but then like when we need like our Cintiqs and stuff like that in the library or in our classrooms anybody could just come into our classroom when we need to get homework done for our next class and be like, oh, okay.
So it was like a small building too. Like it was really like
hmm
bunched up.
but
Yeah.
at the end of like me graduating, I paid like $80,000 out of pocket
For what?
for like tuition. That was like a cut, like all of it together out of the 4 years that I was there.
Damn. Was it worth it? Did your salary like make up for it yet?
Because they tell you in school they promise you a job and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you can work with teachers and stuff like that who are in the field and who are in the industry. But at the end of the day, like Elijah Banks, what's good? I love your apartment decor. It is amazing. It makes me want to do interior design, and I'm like,
But you're not talking about me.
no, no, no.
Okay, good, good. I was about to say, get the hell out of here. Like now we just
Get the
talking.
hell out of
We just talking.
here.
Yeah. A shout out to him with the good decor. Shout out to him. I don't lie.
For real. And then Val said, like they had film classes, and my 4x5 film sheets were $10 for 50. And then she also said, so I had to buy 500 sheets because the teacher required 10 sheets used per photos.
Whoa. Wow. That
Yeah,
adds up.
so like as an artist, people don't realize when you go to Michael's and stuff like that, and you're like buying sketchbooks and pencils and sets and stuff like that, that shit adds up. So when you have to undersell yourself to like people who want to support your art and stuff like that, or they'd be like, "Oh,
That hurts.
you charge a lot." I'm like, I'm basically trying to
Maintain my business.
right maintain my essential items that I need to produce quality work.
Hmm. Nah, same thing for film photographers. That's why I don't touch film yet. Like you literally got to buy film every single time you want to have a session, Or and then you got to send it out, have it processed. Like that's a lot.
Mhm.
Like I couldn't. I got to do canvas
See, and
art
in school, you would have to do it yourself. You would have to process the photos in like
in the
a
dark
red
room.
room or
Yeah.
all that, and have the kits and stuff like that.
Hell.
But even when you graduated, like from the school, you would still be at the school working on your portfolio and trying to land job deals and stuff like that. But they don't really teach you how to present yourself as an artist or sell yourself as an artist to be like, okay, yeah, they just tell you make a portfolio. Okay, you got to be good at communicating. You got to like
They don't give you nothing strategic. They don't give you any like
price points
starters.
of where you should start. It's
Exactly.
like you're learning this as you go. And like being in animation, like it's basically kind of like what YouTube is. You basically they can do some demos, but here's a demonstration of what like my 3D modeling class would be. You
Yo,
have
what's
the
up, James?
teachers being at the like
How are you?
very front of the
Oh, wait,
room,
wait, wait.
and
One second.
then
One second. One
okay.
second. So Day just joined. All
Mhm.
right, so Day, I was talking to Scoe and we met days ago on TikTok. And then he joined my live like we was talking about through text. And I was just talking about
Oh,
creative ideas and things to pursue. And it was like, and he gave me an idea, like just start a podcast from this because I go live weekly, right? And he's like, just start the podcast, upload clips if I want, and upload the full footage on YouTube. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do that. So if you hear, this is just a creative convo talking about history and like things that we've been through. So I hope you enjoy the live and stay for as long as you want. I continue, Skull.
Val actually wants to see if she can come up and talk.
I'm with it.
Okay, bet. Let's see. If you send
So,
a request, let me.
podcast episode 2. Jesus Christ. Everybody who wants to join in. Invite fucking Pharrell, invite, I don't know, bro. Tyler the Creator. Let's get a really creative
For
podcast.
real, for real. All
I'm with
right,
it.
I'm about to wait. Oh, wait. By accepting, you will disconnect from the code. Oh, dang.
So she has to go live too and then ask to join us like you did, right?
No, I think this is when it's like that. Wait, is it like that? I
Oh
think
yes,
it's
it says you'll the disconnect from creators if you go live with guests. So
yeah, I think that's whenever like somebody goes live and then they start guesting, like how I guessed it on yours, and then it had all those panels where other people can talk. But
so I'll end and go to your live, and then you invite her too. Is that valid?
yeah, if you want to do that.
Yo, rarities. Follow me or Day. No, Skull, and then go to his live. I'm gonna go there right now. Give me a second, bro.
All right.